What happens when you combine a very cool volcano and the absolutely gorgeous ancient Athens style from Minecolonies? Let's find out.
Hello everybody, it's Lady Shatana, and thank you for coming to join me on another one of my hopefully very exciting adventures. This one is going to be called Cavern Queens Inspirations. And what I will be doing is traveling the world and finding interesting places and building colonies. So hopefully I will be using some colony styles in interesting ways that you may not have thought of, and give you some inspirations of your own on how you can actually use the world and make some pretty interesting colonies. We will also have some guests on the series who will be on my little server here creating their own colonies. Usually these will be people that have been playing Minecolonies for a long time and have built many colonies, so they are experts. And perhaps I'll even manage to get some of the actual colony or style designers coming on here and building a colony in their own style, so we can see what their actual vision is of how you would use their style. So yeah, so I'm glad to have you here, and hopefully this will be very exciting for all of us. It's going to be mostly a creative kind of endeavor, as me just building one colony can take an entire series spanning years and years, and I think we would rather just be able to see me do some cool things in a much quicker period of time. So the beginning here, what we've got is I found a fun spot, and that fun spot is a volcano. I love volcanoes, they're just so much fun, right? And I decided to put my my spawn building right here, and we're going to build a bit of a colony around it for our first little bit of inspiration. So let's take a look at what we've got. So this is an absolutely gorgeous building. It is the ancient Athens style, and this particular building is the mystical site. And I've made a couple of little additions here just to make it more friendly as the spawn building for my my little series. I have Danger Boops over there, and he is going to be helping me out by recording the build of this first little colony. So I'm calling this New Pompeii. If anybody knows her history, Pompeii made the decision of building their city right next to a volcano, which didn't turn out super well for them, but we're gonna try and make it work for us. So this building that's here, as I said, I just put it there to be the base for our spawn. And so what we're going to do is we're going to build a bit of colony around on this hill here. We do have this beautiful lake down here, which is very cool, and we'll see if we can, if we do get down this far, we will maybe put something around the edges, something going down into the water, we'll see. But to yeah, just to give you an idea of what kind of thing I would do here, I would definitely start with the town hall. And what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to just put in creative a couple of items which is going to help us build. So obviously you would be starting with level 1 on various things and building them up, but I'm going to toss a couple of guard towers on the corners of the colony space in order to expand our borders. So the ancient Athens does have 4 different towers that are available. I'm going to be using the regular guard tower, and because of what we're doing here, I am going to be placing them at level 5. So as you can see, I've got the corners of the of the colony here. We can see the borders when we have our build tool in our hands, and I'm going to actually just bump this right into the absolute corner inside the borders there. That is right there, and I'm going to bump it down a little bit so that it's kind of at a ground level sort of idea. And then what I will do when I build the roads and things, I'll actually build a nice road that's going to come past here and make the whole thing seamlessly, hopefully blend into the landscape a really good way. So we're going to do that. I'm going to make that, I'm going to build that up a little bit, I think, when I do it. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to construct this, and it is going to, in a moment, it will, yeah, see, bump that out by quite a bit. So that's a good idea when you have especially styles that have really large buildings and thing, is to go and just plop down some guard towers along the very edges of where your border is currently, and as you build those towers up, then you'll be able to expand your borders quite quickly. And so that is a really good thing to do. So let's bump the next one. We're going to do the same thing. We're going to bump that same guard tower into the corner of the colony right there. That's is that right? No, there and there. That should put it right in there. Yeah, right there will be perfect. That was a lot of theirs in a short period of time. Okay, so then any colony, now normally you wouldn't be putting those to start with. You'd be doing a builder's hut. So let's bump in a builder's hut right here. It's in fundamentals, builder's hut, and I've taken a look at the two different ones here, and this is a really beautiful style. I think I'm actually going to go with the rural because I really like how it looks, and I'm gonna have it here, and we're gonna have it down a little bit down the hill. And let's see, we're going to bump that there. And so then what I'll do is I'll be, putting stairs down here, and I'll make a nice decorative kind of wall around where this is going to be. And let's see, is that a good, bump that down just a tiny bit, maybe not quite that much. Let's take a look, is that going to fit in there? Let's go one back and maybe one further over. And so now obviously you're going to have to dig this whole thing out. So what we're going to end up with is sort of a terraced idea, and then I'll have a nice road that's going to come across in front of here, maybe some waterfalls down into a level down there, but that's kind of the idea. So let's go ahead and get that in there. And so as I said, what we'll end up doing is I will make these nice and decorative. Maybe I'll line it with some different bricks and some waterfalls to make it look really nice. And with these, we'll go ahead and actually let's take a look at, I know I put a cutter in here somewhere, and let's take these beige bricks that are the path is made out of, and make some stairs like that. And so what we're going to end up doing is we're going to be bumping some stairs down like this, and obviously clearing this out a little bit, and some more stairs, and a stair there. So as you see, we're going to work everything down to make a nice pathway that's going to go along here, and then we will probably oh, hello little cardinal, you're so cute. Just build the nice road that's going to come along here like this. Oops, not like that exactly, and like so, and then filling these spaces in with some grass, because I always like to have a nice little grass sort of lawn, baby lawn, teeny lawn anytime I do build something like that. So as you can see, we're going to bump along here a nice road, and then we'll connect that up over there, and then here we'll have that another level of the lawn on the side, and then we'll take this down flat. Obviously we'll be using dirt for the rest of it. That poor little cardinal's gonna get stuck, oh no. Let's see, just like that, and we'll work that down. And so the next level of what's going to happen here is probably going to be quite a ways down here. So what we'll probably do, because of how these things all have a little landing, maybe right here, and then maybe we'll run the stairs down along this wall with some little waterfalls or something along here, but we'll work on that as we go along. And we'll probably periodically throughout the series come back to this space and just add little bits and pieces to Spawn as we go along, just to improve it as we go in between the various other projects that we do. So as you can see, we're just going to bump that along here. So just with that, we've started our first couple of levels like that. So one of the important things that you do want to get going in a colony fairly quickly is always going to be the university. And the reason for that is because there's a lot of buildings that are going to require the university research before you can actually build them. And by having the university up, you'll be able to actually figure out what those researches are that you are going to need. So so as you can see, I kind of had an idea where a couple of these buildings were going to go before we got started, and so I'm just bumping them in now. So I decided I think the university is going to look really cool here. Now what I've got going on is running it at about the same level as that building here. So what we'll end up doing is we'll be bumping this around the corner here, and by doing this, when we bump back a little bit, we'll be able to see that first building really nice and clearly, which is kind of what I definitely wanted to do. So let's see, do we have this here? Let's move it one back just so we kind of keep it on a level with that other one. And again, let's kind of even it up. So we're not necessarily doing the same sort of absolutely symmetrical, even thing that I normally do, but keep things fairly what's the word I'm looking for? Just to keep it sort of the same idea in the various spots that you're working on, I think would be really great. So that's dug in there, and let's go ahead and build that. So there we go, that's popped that in there. And then of course we're going to need to go in and remove these extra bits that are coming in here to show us the entire majesty of this absolutely beautiful, beautiful building. And so just take a moment and I will clear this out. Okay, and that's that. So that kind of opened that up right there. And then of course we will be, as I said, we'll be adding this path that comes around on this side. And again, we'll be making sure that we pretty everything up over there. And the some of that prettying up I may do in between episodes. So again, keeping that layer of lawn up front there. And again, we'll be making sure that we bring everything down and make it all look good. But we will, oops, there we go. So we'll end up bringing that road around on this side and bringing that up around here. And then here we've got, again, the same thing. I will put this down so that it's all nice and flat, so that everything looks really, really Nice. And so then we want to bump in the town hall. I decided that over here would probably be a good place. Now I did put it down here so I could control some various things. Now because I haven't built it yet, you can of course go into the build options and you can pick it up, which is just going to pick up that town hall block right there. So now we can go ahead and we're going to place the town hall in this space. So I think we're going to rotate that around, make sure we have the front, and let's decide where we're going to put that. Do we want it on the same level or do we want it a little bit lower? I think we want to work with the terrain a bit here, so we're actually going to drop this down by 3 or 4, and there we go. Let's drop that down. So then what we'll end up doing is we'll step this down a bit to make the transition between the two levels look really nice. If we have it here, we've got that one layer of lawn that's going to be between the road and the front here, and again we're dropping that down so that we still get a really great view of the what is that, the arena, the auditorium? I can't remember what this is actually called, but it's beautiful and I love it. Okay, so let's go ahead and let's construct that. So the town hall is now in place and it's lovely, and as you can see, it's down quite a bit, so we're going to work on that transition. And again, I'm probably going to add in some waterfalls and things like that in this spot because I just love waterfalls. I think they're just a really great way to transition between levels when you are doing a colony that is not completely flat. And having a not completely flat colony, in my opinion, is always really, really great. While everybody knows that I love having things organized and I love having things orderly, in the overworld, having everything completely flat is not necessarily something that I love. I like having some visual interest to everything that we have going on. So so that's that first couple of buildings, and we've really got things going in those different layers. So we're going to be putting a few things over on here, but let's right now let's pop a couple of things over on this side, maybe working our way towards that very dangerous bit of lava. We are going to have to think about our citizens when we decide to build in dangerous areas like this, because sometimes they can be a little clumsy and they'll do things like fall into that lava. So we are going to want to make sure that we have some walls or things on this side to keep them nice and safe. And what I'll probably do is create some walls that are the same material as these, just so that it blends in nicely to the landscape. So I will definitely be working on that. So we've got a builder, we've got the university, we've got our town hall. This is actually the mystical site, which normally you wouldn't be doing until quite a bit further into things, because that building is actually locked behind research in the university. So you wouldn't necessarily have this up there right away. But let's go and add 1 or 2 residences. So again, this style has some absolutely beautiful styles of buildings. This particular one was the estate, and then there's the residence, which as you can see, the style itself is designed to have buildings placed directly next to each other to build a really nice compact city. They've got the rural residence, which is a little bit more open, and then the villa, which also is a really nice, lovely thing. So what I'm gonna do, which one should I do? I think let's do, what should we do? Let's do the estate. And as you can see, I bumped that first, this building over here right into the mountain because I thought it would look pretty cool doing that with it bumped in there. And I started a little stair, which is going to work our way up to some other buildings, which we're going to do here. So I'm going to do the same thing with this building. going to bump it into that space there, and as you can see, it's raining over here, and that's okay. So let's see what level we're at. That is the ground level. We want to keep it down, and we've got this pretty much kind of on a level with what's going on over here. We'll have a nice road that comes in between, and then place something else further down and another building on this side. So let's place that one down there, and there we go. So again, normally you'd be sort of cleaning this sort of thing up while you've got your builder doing his builder thing, and we're gonna go and change this up. So this will become the nice road connecting this section here. Not quite like that, more like that, and that will carry on there. And then I personally would go and I would change these to that lovely lawn, and I would put some different bushes and things like that in there. So you'd kind of work your way there, and then I would probably make it a little bit bigger and maybe some small trees or bushes, and then on the next level down I would probably do another residence over here, or I'd maybe put the tavern, but well, let's take a look at the tavern. What's the tavern look like for us? Oh, it's kind of a nice building, and do we want to put that right on this section? How much space do we have? We've got quite a bit of space, so let's go ahead and consider doing that. And again, we would be working this so that it kind of transitioned quite nicely. And for here, we want to think about where we're at. And again, I want to keep that visual interest where we're stepping things down this mountain when I'm building in an area like this. So we've got that, and that's actually lined right up to that. So we'll be able to put a road down here. And this gives us enough space to have a step down to this level. So yeah, let's go ahead and let's place the tavern in this space right here. And again, so we're going to be able to put our stairs in this area. Let's take out this guy right there, and building that path right there, just like that, and that will and again, you can make the decision whether you want to completely fill this area in or if you just want to cover it. The only thing to keep aware of is if you do leave kind of like void spaces, is that sometimes it's really good to just to bump in some torches so that you don't end up with mobs spawning in the dark areas that you have left underneath your town or your colony. So that is the kind of thing you would just do that, clean that up a bit, and again, you'd probably put some trees or something in there, and you'd fill this in, and again, preparing yourself to be able to put that next level in there. So that's really just sort of the beginning of how I would plan out what I'm going to be doing. And I'd work my way up the hill and down the hill from there, but things are going to look a bit different as you actually get started, because you're obviously going to be starting at level 1, not at level 5 like me, and you are going to be making sure that you have your various things going in place. You're going to be starting with that builder, getting a residence or the tavern, and then getting things like your forester and your miner and things in place. So as I said, this is an inspiration series, so we're just kind of getting some ideas of what you could do with the terrain that you've got, and make sure you're utilizing putting those guard towers at the edges of your space so that you can expand your borders and build the next buildings that you need. You can also spread things out. I could build this stair all the way down, and I could actually start building some of my things down at the bottom. And what you can actually do is you can create those oh my goodness, my brain just completely stopped. The hut blocks. You can create all the hut blocks, and you can actually place them down with the build tool to lay out your entire design without building anything. So you can actually place them down before they've been researched. So that's the sort of thing you can do if you want to kind of plan out where a lot of your stuff is going to go before you actually get going. So that's the first idea, the first inspiration, and we're gonna stop it there. And I'm pretty pleased with how this is starting out. And as I said, there's going to be a lot of work to do to make it kind of fit the vision that's in my head. But I hope this gives you an idea of how my thought process works when I am creating a colony, and how you can use what's in the world to make things look really, really interesting instead of making it just completely flat all the time. So we're gonna leave it there. We're gonna probably do a little bit more on this one in the next episode, and then I have a whole bunch of really cool areas of this world already kind of picked out to build the different colonies, different styles, and as I said, we'll also have some various guests and things on at various times. So with that, I hope that you are having an absolutely fantastic day, and that we see you again very, very soon. Bye bye.